Yo, friend, you're the voice of Alliant to represent for CVM See tapping. Me and the girl, them bubblegum. Me and the girl, them bubblegum.
It's Friday, July 26, 2024. This is CVM News at noon. I'm Nika Lewis. A fiery crash in Morant Bay, St. Thomas on Thursday has left one man dead and another barely escaping death after the vehicle they were traveling in collided in a wall and exploded. The deceased has been identified as 24-year-old Shamar Murray, a businessman of the Danvers Pen district in the parish. It is reported that sometime after 7, the deceased was traveling as a passenger in a Toyota Hiace motor van along Wharf Road when the driver lost control of the vehicle and crashed into the wall. The vehicle immediately exploded and was engulfed in flames. The driver was able to jump from the van, but Murray was trapped inside. Firefighters from the Morant Bay Fire Department had to cut him out of the vehicle. Murray was pronounced dead at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The Supreme Court has affirmed the legitimacy of a PNP win in the Kintyre and Ginger Ridge divisions following a legal challenge from within government ranks. Following the last local government election back in February, Ralston John Wilson was declared the winner of the Ginger Ridge division in St. Catherine after a 2-day magisterial recount. He secured victory by 7 votes, edging out the JLP's Jeremiah Edwards. Member of Parliament Dr. Christopher Tufton was displeased, citing issues with ballot handling and procedural errors. However, the High Court dismissed those claims.
The Supreme Court dismissed the JLP's applications on several grounds, including that it was an abuse of process. Following the local government election in February 2024, the JLP filed election petitions against Councillor Brown Bond and Councillor Wilson, who had been duly elected by the voters of their divisions. Despite the magisterial recounts having been concluded in favor of the PNP candidates in both divisions, the JLP attempted to discredit the voice of the people.
The PNP says it's vindicated.
We are satisfied that the Supreme Court has upheld the integrity of the electoral process and confirmed the legitimacy of our councillors' victories. We are gratified that the rule of law has been upheld and that the integrity of our electoral process has been preserved. While we await the court's decision regarding the payment of court costs, the opposition warns the government to be more circumspect in its approach to the Constitution and the rule of law. This decision is significant as it adds to the growing list of cases the Andrew Holness-led government has lost in the courts.
The JLP may have to pay the PNP's court fees out of pocket. The judiciary has yet to decide on the matter. President of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, Dawn Marie Richards, is calling for an urgent meeting with the Minister of Finance. This as Jamaica's nurses are disgruntled following a 2-year-long wait on an update regarding their compensation review package. Richards maintains there have been several efforts to meet with the Ministry of Finance and Health. Well, those have unfortunately been unsuccessful.
On Tuesday of this week, we got a letter from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service signed by Mr. Wayne Jones, speaking to matters that one of the team players at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. And that letter speaks to matters that we believe are not in keeping with what we are waiting for, because we know what the policy is on subsistence. We are just awaiting payments for persons. We thought the traveling policy was already sorted out. We are now hearing that they are revising the policy and that we will get information at a later date. No set timelines are in that letter. We also are at the position where we are looking at our outstanding extra hours work policy and uniform policy implementation dates. We have none for those matters either.
So what's next for you guys?
For us, we are demanding a meeting with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. That is where we are today. We need to know from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service what next. We need to know that, and we need to know that urgently.
For years, the political sphere has been dominated by men, but as time progressed, women slowly moved their debut onto this landscape and have proven their authority ever since. However, current politicians express that it's no easy task. Speaking on Lead Story yesterday, PNP caretaker for Northeastern St. Elizabeth, Zulika Jess, and G2K Vice President Titania Clark explain having a backbone is one of the most important assets.
I think it is no secret that it is certainly not an easy road for those of us who are women in politics here in Jamaica. I think it requires a certain level of grit and grace, as they would say. It requires tenacity. You have to be prepared to take strong and bold decisions, even if it means that it's not necessarily the popular decision, and you have to have the stamina and the backbone to follow through and to ensure that your positions remain firm regardless of the interference.
I think you have to be aware. You cannot go into the political atmosphere being coy or being shy of the fact that, as Jalika said, it is almost like a boys' club. And so you have to stand up, you have to be firm, and you have to be counted while maintaining your femininity, because there is a larger space that is expecting you to bring a level of sincerity and emotion to the game.
Residents of Sligoville in St. Catherine are looking forward to their yearly celebration, Emancifest. The cultural extravaganza is fully endorsed and organized by a Member of Parliament for North Central St. Catherine and the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's Eastern Regional Manager, David Reed.
Sligoville to sell their wares and do it pretty much non-profit. So they come and they're able to do them curry goat and them kill 2 goat and them kill them chicken and whatever the case, and them sell off by the end of the night, because thousands of people come from home and abroad. So they benefit directly.
And outside of the socio-economic, the awareness that it brings to the first free village, not just in Jamaica, but right across the English-speaking Caribbean, and that is the impact that it leaves and so forth. And the citizens of Sligoville really look forward and appreciate it each year.
What are the activities that happens over
By the way, it's a back to school money, you know.
Oh, what do you say?
No, yes, because you open a stall at this time and you sell off. The children are sure to go back to school in September.
Right.
But we are very happy that we are able to do sports as a special feature. So we do football and netball, we do domino as well.
And
we have a Kiddies Olympics. So we have the honor 30, the schools in the area participate as well. We have a full health fair sponsored by the NHF. So you can come and have all your checks done and your back to school medicals done as well.
The Ministry of Agriculture is still picking up the pieces following the Category 4 hurricane that struck Jamaica early July. Minister Floyd Green says it's not been easy for them.
Clearly, we've had a lot of blows in the agricultural sector over the years, but one of the hard parts of this hurricane is that it has hit us hardest in our most productive areas. Between Clarendon, St. Elizabeth and Manchester, they account for over 50%, in fact about 60%, Mr. Price, of our total production. And those are the hardest hit areas. And one of the difficulties that we had in assessing the damage and the impact of burial was the reality on the ground. If you've been into the space, especially if you went into the space quickly thereafter, you realize that our entire communication infrastructure was destroyed. And even the persons that we were calling upon, our extension officers, to go out and gather the information, they themselves suffered tremendous damage.
Well, that's where we end things for news, but join us after the break for our midday preview and review of the Olympic Games hosted by Joel Crosskill.
We believe in golden years that shine bright, and nutrition plays a vital role in keeping our seniors healthy and happy. Studies have shown that in Jamaica, nearly 35% of men 65 years and older and 10% of women the same age are underweight. As we journey through life, nutrition remains essential. But as we age, it becomes even more crucial. Many older adults face nutritional challenges, and inadequate nutrition with the management of non-communicable diseases contributes to or worsens their well-being.
If older persons are losing weight rapidly or have loss of appetite or difficulty swallowing, please take them to a doctor or the nearest health center. Let's help our seniors stay happy and healthy with good nutrition.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hey, how was school?
It was really good, but I'm really hungry. Can we get some juicy patties?
Sure we can. I never see a boil up patty like you.
Hey son, you good?
No, Dad, I'm starving. Can we get some juicy patties?
Celebrating over 40 years of everyday moments.
Freedom! Emancipate 24 under the patronage of MP Natalie Nita Garvey at Sligoville Stadium, July 31, Kiddies Village, Gospel Night, Kevin Downswell Road, Isabella Carey, Sales and more. August 1, Sports, Midday Concert, Celebrity Cook-Off, Senator Damon Crawford, MP Juliette Cuthbert, SSP Stephanie Lindsay, Reggae Showcase, Sizzla, Kalonji, Bugle, Alain and more. Admission is free. Sponsors TPD, CDF, Airports Authority, CVM, NHF, Grace Kennedy, Burger King, New Era Fencing, Jamaica 62, Separate, Guinness, Maggie, Jack the Enterprises, SDC and Connex. Don't miss it.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Holy Road people.
This is it for the season, you know?
Last episode.
So what you up there?
John Mass. Big up yourselves.
Episode 13. We don't even have nothing to rhyme it with.
We're going to go for God. John Mark Place.
We're going to my church. Go for God Family Church.
Season 2, here we come.
When I see my
Good afternoon, I'm Joel Crosskill with Midday Sports. Let the games begin. The 33rd Olympiad officially starts today with the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics scheduled to begin in less than 15 minutes. The ceremony is set to be an historic one in many ways, as it will be the first Olympic opening ceremony held outside of a stadium. The French capital will be transformed into a stadium and theatre as the traditional parade of athletes takes place along the River Seine, passing the most historic Parisian landmarks. The day has been an eventful one in Paris. Hours before the grand affair, CVM's correspondent in France, Edward Boucher, provided an update on Sunrise earlier today.
Today is D-Day, so that's the good thing. A number of disruptions. We saw it was raining really heavily this morning. We were a bit scared because, as you know, this year the opening ceremony is being held in the city of Paris, outdoors. And so we see that the weather is not so great. The rain has stopped. Okay. So we're looking at better conditions for this afternoon. It will rain tonight, but based on the forecast, it will be after the opening ceremony. So, well, fingers crossed there. But in other news, there has been a lot of disruptions. In Paris, there is talk of a terrorist attack, certainly on the network, the train network. In the north of France, which is the region Nord-Pas-de-Calais, number of cables were cut and burnt, and so that has disrupted traffic. And we're talking about some 800,000 travelers who have been impacted. The region in the north, it's quite strategic because we're talking about the high-speed trains coming into Paris from London.
Yes.
And we're talking about trains also leaving Paris because it's Friday and it's also the holidays. So we have, according to the Prime Minister, 800,000 travelers who have been either stuck in Paris or in London or in Lille or in Brussels. So that's the first sign.